Have you ever seen a castle so stunning it looks like it is straight out of a fairy tale? We're journeying to Japan to explore one of its most magnificent national treasures, Himeji Castle, known affectionately as Shirasaki-ji, or the White Heron Castle. Its brilliant white exterior and elegant, soaring structure make it look like a majestic bird taking flight. This isn't just any castle, it's a masterpiece of Japanese architecture, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a survivor of centuries of history. Join me as we peel back the layers of this architectural marvel, uncovering its secrets, its ingenious defenses, and the stories that echo through its halls. Get ready to be amazed by the majesty of Himeji Castle. The story of Himeji Castle begins way back in 1333, when a small fort was first built on Himeyama Hill by a local samurai clan. But the grand fortress we see today truly started taking shape in the late 16th and early 17th centuries, under the orders of Toyotomi Hideyoshi and later expanded by Akita Terumasa. The castle was transformed into a sprawling complex designed to showcase power and withstand any attack. What's truly remarkable is that Himeji Castle has never been destroyed by war, earthquakes, or fire. While other castles across Japan were reduced to rubble over the centuries, Himeji has stood tall, almost miraculously preserved in its original form. This makes it one of the very few original castles left in Japan, offering us an authentic window into the country's feudal past. Let's talk about what makes Himeji Castle so visually breathtaking. Its most iconic feature is the main keep, or tenchu. This is a massive 6-story wooden structure sitting atop a high stone base. The entire complex is finished with a brilliant white, fire-resistant plaster, which not only protected the wooden structures but also gave the castle its ethereal, glowing appearance. The intricate roof design, with its multiple layers of gracefully curved gables and ornate tiles, is a feast for the eyes. It's a perfect blend of form and function, where every detail is both beautiful and practical. The way the castle complex spreads across the landscape, with its interconnected walls, turrets, and gates, creates a sense of harmony and grandeur that is simply unparalleled. It's no wonder it's considered the finest surviving example of prototypical Japanese castle architecture. But Himeji Castle is more than just a pretty face. It was a formidable military fortress. Its design is a masterclass in defensive strategy. The approach to the main keep is a confusing maze of winding paths, bailies, and heavily fortified gates. These paths were designed to spiral around the main compound, forcing any invading army to navigate a confusing and exposed route. Attackers would find themselves funneled into narrow passages and dead ends, making them easy targets for archers and riflemen positioned in the countless portholes and arrow slits, called sama, that dot the castle walls. These portholes came in various shapes: rectangular for archers and circular or triangular for gunmen, showing the castle's adaptation to new military technologies. As you navigate the complex, new lines notice that the gates become progressively smaller and more heavily defended the closer you get to the main keep. Some gates even had ishiotoshi, or stone-dropping chutes, allowing defenders to rain down rocks or boiling liquids on anyone trying to breach the entrance below. The entire layout was a psychological and physical trap. Invaders would become disoriented, exhausted, and demoralized long before they ever reached the heart of the castle. This brilliant defensive design is a key reason why Himeji Castle was never successfully besieged. It was, in its time, an almost impenetrable fortress. Now, let's step inside the main keep. As you ascend the steep, narrow wooden staircases, you can feel the history around you. The interior is surprisingly stark and functional compared to the ornate exterior. This was a military structure, after all. The massive wooden pillars, some of which are said to be centuries-old cypress trees, run the entire height of the keep. providing the core structural support. On the top floor, you will find a small shrine and breathtaking panoramic views of the modern city of Himeji and the surrounding plains. From up here, you can truly appreciate the strategic location of the castle and imagine what it must have been like for the castle lord, looking out over his domain. One of the fascinating details inside is the display of warrior closets, or mushikakushi, hidden rooms where soldiers could lie in wait to ambush intruders who managed to make it inside the keep. It's these small, clever details that bring the castle's history to life. Every floor had its purpose, from storing weapons and provisions on the lower levels to serving as the final command center at the very top. The atmosphere inside is one of quiet strength and resilience, a powerful reminder of the samurai era. Himeji Castle is also rich in folklore and legends. One of the most famous tales is the ghost story of Okiku. As the legend goes, Okiku was a servant who was falsely accused of losing one of 10 valuable golden plates belonging to her master. In a fit of rage, the master threw her down a well within the castle grounds. It is said that even today, her mournful ghost rises from the well at night, counting the plates from 1 to 9, and then lets out a terrifying shriek when she realizes the 10th is missing. This well, known as Okiku's Well, is still a popular spot for visitors, adding a touch of spooky mystery to the castle's history. These stories, passed down through generations, add another layer of intrigue to this already captivating place. The preservation of Himeji Castle is a story in itself. It underwent a massive restoration project that spanned several years, completed in 2015. This was known as the Great Heisa Restoration. Artisans and engineers worked meticulously to repair the roof tiles and reapply the white plaster using traditional techniques. This painstaking effort ensured that the castle would continue to shine brightly for future generations. Visiting Himeji Castle today, you're not just seeing a historical monument, you're seeing the result of a national commitment to preserving cultural heritage. The pristine condition of the castle is a testament to the skill and dedication of Japanese craftsmen, both past and present. So, why should Himeji Castle be on your travel bucket list? Because it offers an experience that is both awe-inspiring and deeply educational. Walking through its grounds is like stepping back in time. You can almost hear the footsteps of samurai and feel the tension of a fortress on high alert. It's a place where you can appreciate the genius of Japanese architecture, the drama of its feudal history, and the beauty of its natural setting. Whether you're a history buff, an architecture enthusiast, or simply someone who loves beautiful places, Himeji Castle has something to offer. It is a living museum that tells the story of Japan's past in a way that no book or documentary ever could. From its strategic defensive base to the ghostly legends that haunt its wells, Himeji Castle is a destination that captivates the imagination. It's a symbol of resilience, elegance, and the enduring spirit of Japanese culture. Visiting this White Heron is more than just a sightseeing trip. It's a journey into the heart of samurai Japan. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour of the magnificent Himeji Castle. We're embarking on an incredible journey to a place where history, beauty, and architectural genius collide. We're heading to Japan to explore the magnificent Himeji Castle, often called the White Heron Castle. Get ready to be amazed, because this isn't just any castle. It's a true masterpiece that has stood the test of time for over 400 years. Imagine a fortress so elegant and pristine that it looks like a giant white bird about to take flight. That's Himeji Castle, perched atop a hill in Hyogo Prefecture. Its brilliant white exterior and graceful, multi-tiered roofs create a silhouette that's instantly recognizable and absolutely breathtaking. Unlike many other Japanese castles that were destroyed by wars, fires, or earthquakes, Himeji has survived in its original form, making it the finest and most complete example of prototypical Japanese castle architecture. It's not just a building, it's a time capsule, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that transports you straight back to the feudal era of shoguns and samurai. So, grab your virtual passport, and let's dive deep into the secrets and splendors of this iconic landmark. The story of Himeji Castle begins way back in 1333, when a fort was first built on Himeyama Hill by a local samurai clan. But the castle we see today really took shape in the early 17th century, during the peak of Japanese castle construction. The powerful daimyo, Ikeda Terumasa, undertook a massive 9-year expansion project starting in 1601. He transformed the original fort into the grand castle complex we admire today. Terumasa's vision was to create a symbol of power and authority, a fortress that was both militarily formidable and aesthetically stunning. He succeeded beyond all expectations. The entire complex, with its 83 buildings and intricate defensive systems, was designed with a level of sophistication that was centuries ahead of its time. What's truly remarkable is that Himeji has never been damaged in a major battle. It survived the bombings of World War II, which leveled the surrounding city, and even withstood the Great Hanshin earthquake in 1995 with minimal damage. This incredible resilience has earned it the nickname, the Indestructible Castle, and adds to its mystique and legendary status. Now, let's talk about why Himeji is called the White Heron Castle, or Shirasagi-ji in Japanese. The name comes from its stunning appearance. The castle walls, towers, and keeps are all covered in a brilliant white plaster. This plaster wasn't just for looks. It was made from a mixture of lime, crushed seashells, and fibers from hemp, which made it fire-resistant, a crucial feature for buildings made primarily of wood. When you see the castle from a distance, with its elegant, layered roofs curving upwards like wings, it truly resembles a majestic white heron poised for flight against the blue sky. This poetic comparison captures the castle's unique blend of strength and grace perfectly. The white plaster also served a psychological purpose, making the castle appear larger, more divine, and almost untouchable to any approaching enemy. It's this visual splendor that makes Himeji Castle not just a military structure, but a work of art. As we venture inside the castle grounds, you'll quickly realize this place is a fortress first and foremost. The path to the main keep is a masterclass in defensive design. It's a winding, confusing maze of pathways, gates, and baileys designed to slow down and disorient invaders. The pathways are narrow. They spiral around the main keep, and they often led to dead ends. Attackers would be forced into tight spots, making them easy targets for archers and gunmen positioned in the countless arrow slits and murder holes hidden within the walls. These openings, called sama, come in various shapes: rectangular for archers and circular or triangular for riflemen. As you walk these paths, try to imagine being an enemy soldier. Every corner you turn could be a trap. Gates are strategically placed to create bottlenecks, and some walls have hidden passages for defenders to launch surprise attacks. It's a brilliant, if deadly, architectural puzzle. The design forces you to constantly double back, exposing your flank and making a direct assault on the main keep nearly impossible. It's a stark reminder that beneath its beautiful exterior, Himeji was built for war. Let's continue our ascent towards the heart of the castle, the main keep, or Daitenshu. This 6-story wooden structure is the centerpiece of Himeji and an icon of Japanese architecture. As you climb the steep, narrow wooden staircases inside, you'll notice the floors get progressively smaller. The lower floors were used for storage of food, water, and weapons. As you go higher, you'll find lookout points and command centers. The top floor offers a breathtaking panoramic view of the Himeji Plains and the city below. This was the ultimate command post, allowing the castle lord to survey his domain and watch for any approaching threats. Take a moment to appreciate the incredible carpentry. The massive wooden pillars that form the castle skeleton are centuries-old cypress trees. 2 main pillars, an east and a west pillar, ran the entire height of the keep, providing the central support for the whole structure. It's an engineering marvel, built without a single nail, relying on complex, interlocking wood joints. You can feel the history in the worn wooden floors and see the craftsmanship in every beam and joint. It's a truly humbling experience to stand inside a structure that has witnessed so much history. But the main keep isn't the only star of the show. Himeji Castle is actually a complex network of 83 different buildings, including smaller keeps, turrets, and connecting corridors. The main keep is linked by covered corridors to 3 smaller subsidiary keeps, creating a fortified central compound. This layout is not just for defense. It also creates a visually dynamic and complex profile from the outside. One of the most interesting parts of the castle complex is the West Bailey, on Nishi no Maura. This area served as the living quarters for Princess Sen, the daughter of the Shogun Tokugawa Hidetada, after she married the lord of Himeji Castle. Her residence included a long, covered corridor with numerous rooms, known as the Cosmetic Tower or Keishiakira, where her ladies-in-waiting lived. From here, she could look out over the city. It gives us a fascinating glimpse into the daily lives of the women who inhabited this fortress, showing us that the castle wasn't just a military garrison, but also a home for noble families. Exploring these different areas reveals the many layers of life within the castle walls, from the strategic military planning to the domestic routines of its high-ranking residents. One of the legends associated with Himeji is the story of Okiku's well. The tale goes that Okiku was a servant girl who was framed for the theft of one of 10 precious golden plates belonging to her master. As punishment, she was thrown into a well on the castle grounds. It's said that her ghost still rises from the well each night, mournfully counting the plates from 1 to 9, and then letting out a heart-wrenching shriek when she realizes the 10th is missing. This spooky story is one of Japan's most famous ghost tales, and you can actually visit the well, now named Okiku's Well, within the castle complex. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the story adds a layer of dark folklore and mystery to the castle's history. It's a reminder that these ancient walls hold not just tales of samurai and battles, but also stories of human tragedy, love, and loss. Legends like this bring the castle to life, connecting us to the emotions and beliefs of the people who lived here centuries ago. To truly appreciate Himeji Castle, a visit to the adjacent Kokoin Garden is a must. This beautiful garden was created in 1992 on the former site of the samurai's west residence. It's not just one garden, but a collection of 9 separate walled gardens designed in various styles of the Edo period. As you stroll through, you'll see a garden with a large pond and waterfall, a tea ceremony garden with a traditional tea house, a garden of pines, a garden of flowers, and a bamboo garden, among others. Each garden is a perfectly manicured landscape that offers a tranquil escape and stunning views of the castle in the background. The contrast between the formidable fortress and the serene beauty of the gardens is striking. It perfectly encapsulates the Japanese aesthetic of finding harmony between strength and nature, between the man-made and the natural world. Having a cup of matcha tea in the tea house while gazing at the castle is an unforgettable experience and a perfect way to conclude your visit. Himeji Castle is so much more than just a tourist destination. It's a living museum, a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of feudal Japan. Its survival through centuries of turmoil is nothing short of miraculous, allowing us to step directly into the world of samurai and shoguns. From its brilliant white facade and clever defenses to its towering keep and haunting legends, every element of Himeji tells a story. It's a place that inspires awe, sparks the imagination, and offers a profound connection to the past. If you ever get the chance to visit Japan, put Himeji Castle at the very top of your list. It's an experience that will stay with you forever. We are journeying to Japan to explore one of its most breathtaking national treasures, the magnificent Himeji Castle, nicknamed the White Heron Castle, or Shirasagi-ji, for its brilliant white exterior and its resemblance to a bird taking flight. This fortress is more than just a pretty face. It's a masterpiece of military architecture, a survivor of centuries of turmoil, and a place brimming with secrets and stories. So, grab your virtual passport and let's unravel the mysteries of Himeji Castle. Our story begins in 1333, when a small fort was first built on Himeyama Hill. But the Himeji Castle we see today truly took shape in the early 17th century under the visionary daimyo Akita Teramaza. He spent 9 years transforming the original structure into this sprawling, complex fortress. What's truly remarkable is that Himeji has never been destroyed by war, earthquake, or fire. While other castles across Japan were reduced to rubble, Himeji has stood tall for over 400 years, making it the finest surviving example of prototypical Japanese castle architecture. Now, let's talk about that iconic white plaster. It wasn't just for looks. The thick, fire-resistant plaster was a key defensive feature, protecting the wooden structures underneath from cannon fire and flames. But it's this very whiteness that gives the castle its ethereal, almost dreamlike quality, especially when viewed against a clear blue sky. It's no wonder it was one of the very first UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Japan. As we approach the castle grounds, the first thing you'll notice is the sheer scale of it all. The complex consists of over 80 buildings spread across multiple baileys, all connected by a labyrinth of winding paths, gates, and walls. This wasn't just a home. It was a fortress designed to confuse and trap any invading army. Imagine being an attacking samurai, trying to navigate this maze. Every corner you turn, you're met with another gate, another wall, and archers waiting for you from above. The main keep, or tenshu, is the heart of the castle. It's a 6-story wooden structure that towers over the landscape. As we begin our climb up, notice how the staircases get steeper and narrow. This was a deliberate design choice to slow down attackers. The lower floors were used for storage, housing food, sword, and weapons. Essentially everything needed to withstand a long siege. As we ascend, look out the windows. These aren't your typical residential windows. You'll see differently shaped openings in the walls, rectangular, circular, and triangular. These are called sama, and they were designed for archers and gunmen to fire upon enemies from a protected position. The shape of the opening indicated the type of weapon to be used. It's these small, ingenious details that reveal the castle's true purpose as a military stronghold. One of the most fascinating features of the main keep is the ishiotoshi, or stone drop windows. These are small, hidden openings in the floor that jut out from the castle walls. Defenders could drop stones, boiling water, or even oil onto enemies attempting to scale the walls below. It was a brutal but highly effective last line of defense. The entire path to the keep is a death trap, designed to wear down and demoralize any attacker long before they reach the heart of the castle. But Himeji isn't just about war and defense. It's also a place of legends and ghost stories. Perhaps the most famous is the tale of Okiku. Okiku was a servant girl who was accused of losing one of 10 precious golden plates belonging to her master. As punishment, she was thrown into a well on the castle grounds. It is said that even today, on quiet nights, you can hear her ghost rising from the well, mournfully counting the plates from 1 to 9, over and over, before letting out a terrible shriek. The well, now known as Okiku's Well, is still there for visitors to see. It adds a layer of chilling folklore to the castle's already rich history. Another interesting area is the Keisho Yagura, or the cosmetics turret. This part of the castle was built for Princess Sen, the granddaughter of the great shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu. After the fall of Osaka Castle, she was rescued and later married Honda Tadatoki, the lord of Himeji. This turret served as her private quarters, a place of relative peace and beauty amidst the stark military functionality of the rest of the fortress. It's a poignant reminder that even within these imposing stone walls, life, love, and family stories unfolded. The turret was said to have held her dowry, including a significant amount of cosmetic money, hence the name. Let's talk about the incredible restoration work. In the 20th century, the castle underwent a massive multi-year renovation, known as the Great WA Restoration. And more recently, from 2009 to 2015, the main keep was completely shrouded in scaffolding for another major facelift. The roof tiles were replaced, and the brilliant white walls were replastered. It was an enormous undertaking that ensured the white heron would continue to grace the skies for generations to come. When the scaffolding came down, the castle was so dazzlingly white that it surprised even the locals. Now, let's step back and admire the view. From the top floor of the keep, you get a panoramic vista of the modern city of Himeji and the surrounding plains. It's a powerful contrast, seeing the bustling city from a structure that seems to belong to another time. This vantage point also gives you a perfect understanding of the castle's strategic layout. You can trace the spiraling paths, the concentric walls, and see just how formidable this fortress would have been to any potential threat. Himeji Castle has also made its mark on popular culture. You might recognize it from a number of films. It featured as the ninja training school of Taiga Tanaka in the James Bond movie You Only Live Twice, and served as a stunning backdrop in Akira Kurosawa's epic films Kokomusha and Ran. Its cinematic beauty and authentic atmosphere make it a favorite for filmmakers looking to capture the essence of feudal Japan. So, what makes Himeji Castle so special? It's the perfect harmony of form and function. It's a structure of immense beauty, yet every single element was designed with a ruthless, practical purpose. It's a survivor, a silent witness to centuries of Japanese history. It's a place where military genius, architectural beauty, and haunting legends all intertwine. Visiting Himeji is like stepping directly into a samurai movie. You can almost hear the echoes of footsteps on the wooden floors, the clack of armor, and the whispers of stories carried on the wind. It's a truly immersive experience that connects you directly with Japan's feudal past, from its deadly traps to its coastly wells. Every stone of Himeji Castle has a story to tell. Thank you so much for joining me on this virtual tour of the enigmatic White Heron Castle. I hope you enjoyed uncovering some of its secrets. If you've ever been to Himeji, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. What was your favorite part? we're journeying to Japan to explore one of its most breathtaking national treasures, Himeji Castle. You've probably seen pictures of its stunning white walls and elegant, multi-tiered roofs, which earned it the nickname White Heron Castle. But Himeji is so much more than just a pretty face. It's a masterpiece of military engineering, a fortress that perfectly blends artistic beauty with ingenious defensive design. For over 400 years, it has stood unconquered, a silent testament to the genius of its builders. So, grab your virtual passport, because we are about to uncover the secrets of how this architectural marvel was designed to be both a symbol of power and an impenetrable stronghold. Let's dive in. As you approach Himeji Castle, the first thing that strikes you is its sheer scale and complexity. It's not just one building, but a massive complex of over 80 structures connected by a labyrinth of gates, walls, and courtyards. This intricate layout wasn't for show. It was the castle's first line of defense. The path to the main keep, or donjon, is a deliberately confusing, winding spiral. Attackers would be forced to navigate a maze of narrow passages, blind corners, and dead ends, all while being exposed to fire from above. Imagine being an invading samurai, charging through these pathways, never knowing what ambush awaits around the next turn. This design was meant to disorient, slow down, and demoralize any invading force long before they could even get close to the heart of the castle. One of the most clever features of the defensive layout is the use of gates. There are 21 gates remaining in the complex, and each one is a carefully constructed choke point. They are often small and low, forcing attackers to stoop or enter one by one, making them easy targets. Many gates are also part of a Masugata, which is a small, square courtyard enclosed by high stone walls. If an enemy managed to breach the first gate, they would find themselves trapped in this boxy courtyard, with archers and riflemen firing down on them from the walls above. It was a kill box, plain and simple. The Hishi Gate, or Diamond Gate, is a perfect example. Its beautiful design masks a deadly purpose, funneling enemies into a vulnerable position. Now, let's talk about the walls themselves. Those beautiful, sloping stone walls are called ishigaki. They might look purely aesthetic, but their fan-like curve, known as ojiakabai, served a critical purpose. This design made them incredibly difficult to climb. The gentle slope at the bottom becomes progressively steeper towards the top, creating an overhang that would thwart even the most determined climbers. Furthermore, the massive stones were fitted together without mortar in a technique called einozumin. This method allowed the walls to be flexible, capable of shifting and resettling during Japan's frequent earthquakes without collapsing. It's an ancient form of seismic engineering that has allowed Himeji to withstand centuries of tremors. Look closely at the castle walls, and you'll notice hundreds of small openings of various shapes: rectangular, circular, and triangular. These are called sama. They weren't decorative. They were shooting holes for archers and riflemen. The different shapes were not random. The larger rectangular holes were for archers, allowing them to draw their bows fully. The smaller circular and triangular ones were for arquebusiers musketeers, providing a smaller target for return fire while allowing them to aim their firearms. Their placement was strategic, providing overlapping fields of fire that covered every possible approach to the castle walls. From these hidden positions, defenders could rain down a relentless barrage of arrows and bullets on any attackers below. And what about those beautiful white walls? The plaster isn't just for looks. It was made from a mixture of slaked lime, hemp fiber, and seaweed, creating a finish that was not only fire resistant, but also helped to protect the underlying wooden structure from the elements. In an age when sieges often involved fire arrows, this was a crucial defensive feature. The pristine white color also had a psychological effect. making the castle appear majestic, almost ethereal, and utterly intimidating to any approaching army. It was a brilliant fusion of practicality and psychological warfare. Now, let's make our way up to the main keep, the Tenshu. This 6-story wooden structure is the heart of the castle, but even getting inside is a challenge. The entrances are small and heavily fortified. Once inside, you're greeted by a network of steep, narrow staircases. These stairs are intentionally difficult to climb, especially in armor. Some even have trick steps or hatches that could be removed to create a hole in the floor, dropping unsuspecting intruders to the level below. The interior is surprisingly stark and functional. It was a military command center, not a luxurious palace. The massive wooden pillars that support the entire structure are a testament to the incredible carpentry skills of the time. One of the main pillars, the Daikakubeshira, is a single massive cypress tree trunk that runs through the entire height of the keep. As you ascend, you will find more defensive features. Hidden rooms, known as Mushikakushi, or warrior hiding places, allowed defenders to launch surprise attacks on enemies who made it inside. There are also Ishi Otoshimado, or stone-dropping windows. These were chutes built into the floors of overhanging sections of the keep, allowing defenders to drop rocks, boiling water, or oil directly onto the heads of anyone trying to scale the walls below. Every floor was a new defensive puzzle, designed to wear down and ultimately defeat any attacker who managed to breach the outer defenses. Finally, reaching the top floor offers a breathtaking panoramic view of the surrounding plains. This wasn't just a scenic balcony, it was the ultimate strategic vantage point. From here, the castle lord and his generals could survey the entire battlefield, monitor enemy movements, and direct their forces with a clear overview of the situation. It served as the central nervous system of the entire fortress. The top floor also contains a small shrine, a reminder of the spiritual significance of the castle and the divine protection its defenders sought. It's truly remarkable that Himeji Castle was never seriously tested in battle. Its design was so formidable, its reputation so intimidating, that no daimyo dared to launch a full-scale assault. It stands as a perfect example of the saying, "The best defense is one you never have to use." The castle's survival through the centuries, escaping wars, fires, and even bombing during World War II, feels almost miraculous. It's a combination of brilliant design, a bit of luck, and the dedicated efforts of generations of people who have worked to preserve it. Today, Himeji Castle is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, admired by millions for its grace and beauty. But as we've seen, beneath that elegant exterior lies the mind of a military genius. It's a fortress that teaches us about Japanese history, craftsmanship, and the art of war. Every sloping wall, every winding path, and every hidden nook tells a story of strategy and survival. It's a place where art and science came together to create something truly timeless. We're journeying to Japan to explore one of its most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, Himeji Castle. Nicknamed the White Heron Castle for its brilliant white exterior and elegant wing-like roofs, this fortress isn't just a pretty face. It's a masterpiece of military architecture, a fortress so cleverly designed that it has stood unconquered for over 400 years. Join me as we unravel the secrets hidden within its majestic walls and discover how Himeji Castle earned its reputation as an impenetrable stronghold. Perched atop Himeyama Hill in Hyogo Prefecture, Himeji Castle's story begins in 1333, but its current magnificent form was completed in the early 17th century under the daimyo Akita Teramaza. What makes it so special? Well, for starters, It's one of only 12 original castles remaining in Japan, and it's by far the largest and best preserved. It miraculously survived the bombings of World War II and major earthquakes, a testament to its incredible construction. Its survival isn't just luck, it's pure design genius. Let's start our ascent. The first thing you'll notice is the approach. It's not a straight path. The route to the main keep, or Tenshu, is a deliberately confusing, winding maze. This isn't poor city planning, it's a defensive strategy. Imagine you're an attacking samurai. You'd be forced through a series of narrow, twisting pathways, passing through one gate after another. This design slows down any invading army, breaking their formation and making them easy targets for defenders positioned above. Every turn is a death trap, a calculated move to disorient and exhaust the enemy. As we walk through these gates, look up. See those small, rectangular or triangular holes in the walls? These are called armor. They weren't for decoration. Archers and gunmen would use these openings to rain down arrows and bullets on attackers trapped in the narrow passages below, all while remaining protected behind the thick castle walls. There are different shapes for different weapons. Rectangular for archers and smaller, circular or triangular ones for musketeers. The sheer number of these openings throughout the castle grounds is staggering, a clear message that any assault would be met with overwhelming force. But the defenses don't stop there. Look closer at the stone walls. You'll see large chutes called Jiotoshi, or stone drops. These were openings built directly over the paths, allowing defenders to drop massive rocks, boiling water, or oil onto anyone trying to scale or break through the walls below. It was a brutally effective, close-quarters defense system that made getting anywhere near the base of the keep a suicidal mission. The designers thought of everything. Even the beautiful, tiered roofs serve a defensive purpose, while they give the castle its bird-like grace. They are also covered in durable, fire-resistant tiles. In an era when fire was a common weapon of war, this was a crucial feature. The complex layers of roofs would also confuse attackers trying to gauge the castle's internal structure and the number of floors, making it harder to plan an effective siege. Now, let's talk about the main keep itself. It seems to have 5 stories from the outside, right? But once you get inside, you will find there are actually 6 floors plus a basement. This architectural trickery was meant to confuse invaders who managed to get inside, making it difficult for them to navigate and reach the top. The interior staircases are incredibly steep and narrow, forcing soldiers to climb one by one, leaving them vulnerable to defenders waiting on the landing above. The main keep is actually a complex of buildings connected by fortified corridors and courtyards. The central tower is flanked by 3 smaller subsidiary keeps, creating a powerful, interconnected defensive core. If one part of the complex was breached, defenders could fall back to another section and continue the fight. This layered defense meant that capturing Himeji wasn't a single battle, but a series of crawling, costly sieges within the castle itself. One of the most fascinating aspects of Himeji's design is the psychological warfare it wages. The brilliant white plaster walls, made from a mix of lime, crushed shells, and hemp fiber, were not just for beauty. This dazzling facade would have been intimidating, a symbol of the daimyo's immense power and wealth. Furthermore, the confusing layout, dead ends, and false gateways were designed to create panic and frustration among enemy ranks. There are even legends of ninja geishi, or ninja repelling spikes, hidden under the eaves to prevent infiltration. The entire castle is a psychological weapon. So, why is it called the White Heron Castle? As you stand back and look at it, the way the white walls rise into the sky, crowned by the layers of gracefully curved grey roofs, it truly resembles a magnificent white heron taking flight. This poetic name captures the castle's elegance, but it belies the deadly, brilliant engineering that makes it a fortress. Despite all these formidable defenses, Himeji Castle was never actually tested in a major battle. Its reputation alone was enough to deter any would-be attackers. It stood as a powerful symbol of authority during a long period of peace, its defenses serving as a silent warning. This is perhaps its greatest triumph, a castle so perfectly designed for war that it ensured peace. Today, as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Himeji Castle welcomes millions of visitors, not as invaders, but as admirers of its history, beauty, and architectural genius. Walking its halls is like stepping back in time, a tangible connection to the era of samurai and shoguns. Every stone, every beam, and every hidden passage tells a story of ingenuity and survival. It's a reminder that the most beautiful things can also be the strongest. From its labyrinthine paths and deadly defensive openings to its psychological tricks and fire-resistant structure, Himeji Castle is more than just a castle. It's a masterclass in military design. Its secrets are a testament to the foresight and skill of its builders, who created a fortress that was both a work of art and an impregnable stronghold. We're journeying to Japan to explore one of its most iconic and breathtaking landmarks, Himeji Castle. Nicknamed the White Heron Castle for its brilliant white exterior and elegant, wing-like roofs, this fortress isn't just a pretty face. It's a masterpiece of military architecture, a fortress so cleverly designed that it has stood unconquered for over 400 years. Join me as we unravel the secrets hidden within its majestic walls and discover how Himeji Castle earned its reputation as an impenetrable stronghold. Perched atop Himeji Hill in Hyogo Prefecture, Himeji Castle's story begins in 1333, but its current magnificent form was completed in the early 17th century under the daimyo Akita Teramaza. What makes it so special? Well, for starters, it's one of only 12 original castles remaining in Japan, and it's by far the largest and best preserved. It miraculously survived the bombings of World War II and major earthquakes, a testament to its incredible construction. Its survival isn't just luck, it's pure design genius. Let's start our ascent. The first thing you'll notice is the approach. It's not a straight path. The route to the main keep, or tenshu, is a deliberately confusing, winding maze. This isn't poor city planning, it's a defensive strategy. Imagine you're an attacking samurai. You'd be forced through a series of narrow, twisting pathways, passing through one gate after another. This design slows down any invading army, breaking their formation and making them easy targets for defenders positioned above. Every turn is a death trap, a calculated move to disorient and exhaust the enemy. As we walk through these gates, look up. See those small, rectangular or triangular holes in the walls? These are called armor. They weren't for decoration. Archers and gunmen would use these openings to rain down arrows and bullets on attackers trapped in the narrow passages below, all while remaining protected behind the thick castle walls. There are different shapes for different weapons: rectangular for archers and smaller, circular or triangular ones for musketeers. The sheer number of these openings throughout the castle grounds is staggering, a clear message that any assault would be met with overwhelming force. But the defenses don't stop there. Look closer at the stone walls. You'll see large chutes called ishiotoshi, or stone drops. These were openings built directly over the paths, allowing defenders to drop massive rocks, boiling water, or oil onto anyone trying to scale or break through the walls below. It was a brutally effective, close-quarters defense system that made getting anywhere near the base of the keep a suicidal mission. The designers thought of everything. Even the beautiful, tiered roofs serve a defensive purpose, while they give the castle its bird-like grace. They are also covered in durable, fire-resistant tiles. In an era when fire was a common weapon of war, this was a crucial feature. The complex layers of roofs would also confuse attackers trying to gauge the castle's internal structure and the number of floors, making it harder to plan an effective siege. Now, let's talk about the main keep itself. It seems to have 5 stories from the outside, right? But once you get inside, you will find there are actually 6 floors plus a basement. This architectural trickery was meant to confuse invaders who managed to get inside, making it difficult for them to navigate and reach the top. The interior staircases are incredibly steep and narrow, forcing soldiers to climb one by one, leaving them vulnerable to defenders waiting on the landing above. The main keep is actually a complex of buildings connected by fortified corridors and courtyards. The central tower is flanked by 3 smaller subsidiary keeps, creating a powerful, interconnected defensive core. If one part of the complex was breached, defenders could fall back to another section and continue the fight. This layered defense meant that capturing Himeji wasn't a single battle, but a series of crawling, costly sieges within the castle itself. One of the most fascinating aspects of Himeji's design is the psychological warfare it wages. The brilliant white plaster walls, made from a mix of lime, crushed shells, and hemp fiber, were not just for beauty. This dazzling facade would have been intimidating, a symbol of the daimyo's immense power and wealth. Furthermore, the confusing layout, dead ends, and false gateways were designed to create panic and frustration among enemy ranks. There are even legends of ninja geishi, or ninja repelling spikes, hidden under the eaves to prevent infiltration. The entire castle is a psychological weapon. So, why is it called the White Heron Castle? As you stand back and look at it, the way the white walls rise into the sky, crowned by the layers of gracefully curved grey roofs, it truly resembles a magnificent white heron taking flight. This poetic name captures the castle's elegance, but it belies the deadly, brilliant engineering that makes it a fortress. Despite all these formidable defenses, Himeji Castle was never actually tested in a major battle. Its reputation alone was enough to deter any would-be attackers. It stood as a powerful symbol of authority during a long period of peace, its defenses serving as a silent warning. This is perhaps its greatest triumph, a castle so perfectly designed for war that it ensured peace. Today, as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Himeji Castle welcomes millions of visitors, not as invaders, but as admirers of its history, beauty, and architectural genius. Walking its halls is like stepping back in time, a tangible connection to the era of samurai and shoguns. Every stone, every beam, and every hidden passage tells a story of ingenuity and survival. It's a reminder that the most beautiful things can also be the strongest. From its labyrinthine paths and deadly defensive openings to its psychological tricks and fire-resistant structure, Himeji Castle is more than just a castle. It's a masterclass in military design. Its secrets are a testament to the foresight and skill of its builders, who created a fortress that was both a work of art and an impregnable stronghold. We're embarking on a journey to a place where history, beauty, and resilience converge. We are heading to Japan to explore one of its most magnificent and iconic landmarks, the stunning Himeji Castle. Imagine a fortress so grand, so elegant, that it seems to float above the landscape like a majestic white bird taking flight. That's Himeji Castle for you, often called Okoro-ji or Shirasaki-ji, which means White Heron Castle. Its brilliant white exterior and graceful, soaring rooflines truly live up to the name. Standing proudly atop a hill in Himeji City, Hyogo Prefecture, this castle isn't just a building. It's a breathtaking symbol of Japan's feudal past and a masterpiece of architectural genius. The story of Himeji Castle is a long and fascinating one, stretching back over 6 centuries. Its origins trace back to 1333, when a fort was first built on Himeyama Hill by Akamatsu Norimura, a powerful samurai lord. However, the castle we see today truly began to take shape in the late 16th and early 17th centuries. The major expansion was ordered by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, one of Japan's great unifiers, in the 1580s, but it was his son-in-law, Ikeda Teramaza, who completely rebuilt and expanded the castle from 1601 to 1609, giving it the grand, complex form we admire today. This was during the beginning of the peaceful Edo period, a time when castles shifted from purely military strongholds to symbols of a lord's power and prestige. And what a symbol Himeji became. What makes Himeji Castle so special is its incredible state of preservation. It's one of only a handful of original castles remaining in Japan, while many others were destroyed by wars, fires, earthquakes, or dismantled during the Meiji Restoration. Himeji has miraculously survived it all. It withstood intense bombing during World War II, with a bomb even landing on the top floor of the main keep but failing to explode. It also weathered the Great Hanshin earthquake of 1995, with surprisingly little damage. This resilience has earned it a reputation as the indomitable castle, a true survivor that has stood the test of time. In 1993, Himeji Castle received one of the highest honors a cultural site can achieve. It was registered as one of Japan's very first UNESCO World Heritage Sites. This recognition solidified its status not just as a national treasure of Japan, but as a treasure for all of humanity. Its architectural brilliance and historical significance are truly world-class. Now, let's take a walk through the castle grounds, because exploring Himeji is like stepping into a different era. The approach to the main keep is a journey in itself. The castle complex is a labyrinth of walls, gates, and winding paths designed to confuse and slow down attacking enemies. As you walk, you'll pass through numerous gates and baileys or courtyards, each one strategically placed. The path spirals around the main keep, forcing any would-be invaders to navigate a confusing uphill route, all while being exposed to fire from defenders perched in the towers and along the walls. You'll notice narrow openings in the walls called sama. These came in various shapes: rectangular for archers and circular, triangular, or square for gunners, allowing defenders to shoot at enemies while remaining protected. It's a brilliant defensive design that turns the entire castle complex into an intricate fortress. As you finally make your way to the heart of the castle, you'll be standing before the magnificent main keep, or Tenshu. This is the star of the show. The keep is a 6-story wooden structure, but from the outside, it appears to have only 5 floors. This architectural trick is just one of its many fascinating features. The keep is actually a complex of a main tower connected by corridors to 3 smaller subsidiary towers, creating a powerful and visually stunning central structure. Let's head inside. As you slip off your shoes and step onto the cool, dark wooden floors, you're walking where samurai and lords once walked. The interior is largely unfurnished, which allows you to appreciate the raw, incredible craftsmanship of the structure itself. You can see the massive wooden pillars, some made from entire trees, that have supported this building for over 400 years. As you climb the steep, narrow staircase is another defensive feature to slow down armored attackers. You will pass by weapons racks and stone drop windows where defenders could drop rocks or boiling water on enemies below. Each floor offers a new perspective. The windows get larger as you ascend, offering increasingly breathtaking views of the city of Himeji and the surrounding plains. It is from these windows that you can truly appreciate the strategic location of the castle and imagine what it must have been like to stand guard here centuries ago. The climb to the top is an adventure, and when you finally reach the 6th floor, the reward is spectacular. A small shrine is located at the top, but the real prize is the panoramic 360-degree view. It's a moment of awe, connecting you directly with the history and grandeur of this amazing place. But the main keep is just one part of the story. Don't forget to explore the West Bailey, or Nishinomara, which served as the residence for a princess. This long, fortified corridor offers beautiful views of the main keep and has its own fascinating stories. There's also the legend of Okiku, a servant girl who was falsely accused of losing a valuable dish and was thrown into a well. It's said that her ghost still rises from the well at night, counting the dishes. The well, known as Okiku's Well, is still on the castle grounds, adding a touch of folklore and mystery to your visit. Visiting Himeji Castle is an unforgettable experience. The best time to go is during spring, when hundreds of cherry blossom trees on the grounds burst into bloom, framing the white castle in a sea of delicate pink. It's a photographer's dream and a truly magical sight. Autumn is also beautiful, with vibrant fall colors creating a stunning backdrop. To get the most out of your visit, I recommend arriving early in the day, especially during peak seasons, as it can get very crowded. Wear comfortable shoes, as there's a lot of walking and some very steep stairs to climb. And take your time. Don't just rush to the top of the keep. Wander through the winding paths, admire the details in the stonework and rooftops, and try to imagine the history that unfolded right where you're standing. Himeji Castle is more than just a tourist destination. It's a living museum and a testament to the ingenuity, artistry, and spirit of feudal Japan. Its enduring beauty and remarkable survival story make it a place that inspires awe and wonder. It's a bridge to the past, allowing us to connect with the world of samurai and shoguns in a way that few other places can. If you ever have the chance to visit Japan, make sure this timeless treasure is at the top of your list. You won't be disappointed. We're journeying to Japan, to a place of breathtaking beauty and haunting secrets. Dominating the skyline of Hyogo Prefecture stands a magnificent fortress, a UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the White Heron Castle. Of course, I'm talking about Himeji Castle. Its brilliant white walls and elegant, soaring rooftops have witnessed centuries of history. But beyond its architectural splendor, Himeji Castle is shrouded in mystery and legend. These aren't just stories, they're the very soul of the castle, echoing through its corridors and courtyards. Are you ready to unlock the secrets that lie within these ancient stones? Let's dive into the enigmatic legends of Himeji Castle. Before we explore the ghost stories, let's take a moment to appreciate the castle itself. Construction began in the 14th century, but the grand complex we see today was largely completed in the early 1600s under the guidance of the warlord Akihito Hiromasa. It's a masterpiece of Japanese castle architecture, with over 80 buildings connected by a labyrinth of gates and winding paths. This design wasn't just for beauty, it was a brilliant defensive strategy. The maze-like approach was designed to confuse and slow down invading armies, making them easy targets for defenders. Amazingly, Himeji has never been destroyed by war, fire, or earthquake, making it one of the few original castles remaining in Japan. Its pristine condition is a miracle in itself, providing the perfect, untouched stage for the tales we're about to explore. Our first and perhaps most famous legend is the tragic tale of Okiku. It's a story of betrayal, sorrow, and a ghostly voice that is said to still echo from the castle grounds. The story goes that Okiku was a beautiful servant in the service of a high-ranking samurai named Heisen Aoyama. Aoyama lusted after Okiku, but she repeatedly rejected his advances. Infuriated by her refusal, Aoyama devised a cruel plan. He entrusted Okiku with 10 precious golden plates, a family treasure. Later, he secretly hid one of them. He then demanded that Okiku present the plates. When she could only find 9, Aoyama flew into a rage. He accused her of theft, a crime punishable by death. He offered her a choice: become his mistress and he would forgive her, or face a horrific fate. Still, Okiku refused to submit. Consumed by his fury, Aoyama had Okiku tortured and then killed, throwing her body down a deep well within the castle grounds. But that wasn't the end of the story. Soon after, a mournful, ghostly voice began to rise from the well each night. It would slowly count: 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, all the way up to 9. After reaching 9, the voice would let out a blood-curdling shriek of despair, a sound that tormented Aoyama and everyone else within the castle walls. The well, now known as Okiku's Well, is still a prominent feature at Himeji Castle today. Visitors often gather around it, leaning in, hoping to hear the faint, sorrowful count of a spirit forever searching for what was stolen from her. This tale of injustice has been retold in countless plays and artworks, cementing Okiku as one of Japan's most famous ghosts. Next, let's venture into the main keep, the Tenchukaku. At the very top, there is a small shrine dedicated to a deity named Osakabe Hime. But who was this mysterious figure? Legends surrounding her are conflicting and veiled in secrecy. Some say she was the spirit of a noble princess who once lived in the castle. Others claim she was a powerful yokai, a supernatural being, disguised as a human. The most popular version of the tale involves Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's legendary swordsman, who once served as a guard at Himeji Castle. One night, he was ordered to ascend the keep to confront a mysterious apparition that had been terrorizing the castle guards. Armed with only his sword and a lamp, Musashi climbed the dark, creaking stairs. At the top, he came face to face with a dazzlingly beautiful princess, Osakabe Hime. She tested his courage, creating terrifying visions and phantoms to frighten him. But Musashi, being the fearless warrior he was, remained unfazed. Impressed by his bravery, Osakabe Hime revealed her true divine nature and rewarded him with a treasured sword. To this day, the small shrine on the top floor honors her, the guardian spirit of Himeji. Visitors who make the long climb up the steep staircases can feel a palpable shift in the atmosphere on that final floor. Is it just the altitude, or is the presence of a centuries-old guardian deity still watching over her domain? The mystery of Osakabe Hime adds another layer of divine and supernatural intrigue to the castle's already rich history. But not all of Himeji's legends are about ghosts or gods. Some are about human toil and sacrifice, like the story of the Yubi or the Old Woman's Stone. During the construction of the castle's massive stone walls, under the rule of Toyotomi Hideyoshi in the 16th century, the project was facing a major problem: a shortage of large stones. Hearing of the predicament, a poor elderly woman who made a living selling roasted rice cakes wanted to help. She had little to offer, but she donated her own grinding millstone, her most valuable possession and the source of her livelihood. The foreman was so moved by her selfless act that he made sure to place her stone in a prominent position in the wall. This act of devotion is said to have inspired other commoners, who then eagerly brought stones to contribute to the castle's construction, speeding up the process significantly. You can still see the Himeji today, set within the formidable stone fortifications. It's covered by a wire mesh to protect it, a testament to its importance. It's a small, unassuming stone compared to the giants around it, but it carries a powerful story. It serves as a poignant reminder that this grand fortress was built by powerful lords and skilled samurai. It was also built with the support and sacrifice of ordinary people. It symbolizes the deep connection between the castle and the community it was built to protect, a bond forged in stone and spirit. Our final tale is a bit different. It's a story of cunning and ingenuity, known as the legend of the tongue-cut sparrow. While this is a famous Japanese folktale, one popular version is set right here at Himeji Castle. The story tells of an honest, kind-hearted old man and his greedy, ill-tempered wife. The old man had a pet sparrow that he loved dearly. One day, while he was away, his wife found that the sparrow had eaten some of her laundry starch. In a fit of rage, she caught the little bird and cut its tongue before driving it away. When the old man returned and learned what had happened, he was heartbroken and went in search of his beloved pet. He followed a trail into the mountains and eventually found a sparrow's inn, a magical place run by sparrows. He was welcomed by his own pet, whose tongue had been miraculously healed. As a reward for his kindness, the sparrows offered him a choice between two baskets as a parting gift, one large and heavy, the other small and light. Being a humble man, he chose the small one. When he got home, he opened it to find it filled with treasure. His greedy wife, seeing the riches, demanded to know where he got them. She then rushed to the inn and, unlike her husband, demanded the large, heavy basket. The sparrows warned her not to open it until she got home, but her greed was too great. On the way back, she tore it open. Instead of treasure, a host of demons, snakes, and insects leaped out, startling her so much that she tumbled down the mountain. This moral tale is often associated with a particular gate at Himeji, reminding all who pass that kindness is rewarded, while greed leads to ruin. It weaves a thread of folklore and morality into the very fabric of the castle's architecture, from the tragic cries of Okiku at her well, to the divine presence of Osaka behind in the keep, from the selfless donation of an old woman's stone, to the moral lessons taught by the sparrows. Himeji Castle is so much more than a military fortress. It's a living storybook where history, folklore, and legend intertwine. These tales give the castle its unique character, turning its silent halls and imposing walls into a stage for drama, tragedy, and wonder. They remind us that behind every great structure are the human and supernatural stories that give it life. We're embarking on an incredible journey to Japan, to a place that seems lifted straight from a samurai film. We're exploring the magnificent Himeji Castle, a structure that's not just a building, but a living testament to centuries of Japanese history, ingenuity, and artistry. Imagine a pristine white fortress, its elegant tiers reaching for the sky, perched atop a hill overlooking the city. It's so beautiful that it's often called Hokora-ji, or the White Heron Castle, because it looks like a graceful white bird about to take flight. But don't let its delicate beauty fool you. Himeji Castle is one of the most formidable and best preserved fortresses in all of Japan. Unlike many other Japanese castles that were rebuilt after wars or disasters, the main keep of Himeji Castle is an original, dating back over 400 years. It has survived bombings, earthquakes, and the simple passage of time, standing today almost exactly as it did in the feudal era. It's one of Japan's very first UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and when you see it in person, you'll understand why. It's a true masterpiece of architecture. So, how did this incredible fortress come to be? The story of Himeji Castle begins way back in 1333, when a small fort was first built on Himeyama Hill. But the castle we see today really took shape in the early 17th century, under the rule of the shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu. He gifted the castle to his son-in-law, Ikeda Terumasa, who spent 9 years transforming it into the grand complex we admire today. The goal was to create an impenetrable stronghold, a symbol of power and control. And when I say impenetrable, I mean it. Himeji Castle is a masterclass in defensive design. The journey to the main keep is a confusing, winding maze of paths, gates, and baileys. This wasn't just for decoration. It was designed to disorient and slow down attacking armies, forcing them into narrow passages where they would be easy targets for archers and gunmen hidden behind countless loopholes in the walls. As you walk the grounds, you'll notice these features everywhere. The walls are filled with triangular, circular, and rectangular openings. These are called sama, and they were specifically designed for firing arrows or muskets at invaders from a protected position. The stone walls themselves, known as ishigaki, are a work of art. Notice how they curve outwards like a fan. This design, called ojiaikabai, makes them incredibly difficult to climb. Every single detail here had a defensive purpose. Even the beautiful plaster walls had a secret. They weren't just white for aesthetic reasons. The thick plaster was fire-resistant, providing crucial protection in an age when fire was a common weapon of war. It's this combination of deadly function and breathtaking form that makes Himeji so unique. Let's begin our ascent. As we pass through the first main gate, the Hishi Gate, we enter the labyrinth. The path immediately starts twisting and turning. You'll find yourself walking through narrow corridors and up steep stone steps. Look up, and you'll see openings in the walls above you, known as Ishiotoshi or stone drop windows. From here, defenders could drop rocks, or even boiling water, on any enemy who dared to get too close. It's a chilling reminder of the castle's brutal purpose. The path seems to lead you towards the main keep, but then it will suddenly turn you away, leading you into a dead end or forcing you to double back. This was all part of the psychological warfare. Invaders would become exhausted, confused, and exposed, making them vulnerable to attack. It's like a real-life video game level, designed to be almost impossible to beat. It's so effective that Himeji Castle was never actually taken by siege. Its reputation alone was enough to deter most attackers. After navigating the maze of the outer grounds, we finally arrive at the heart of the castle, the Daitenshu, or the main keep. Standing 6 stories tall from the outside, it's actually a 7-story structure on the inside, including the basement. As we step inside, be prepared to take off your shoes. It's accustomed to protect the beautiful, original wooden floors. The interior is surprisingly stark and simple compared to the ornate exterior. You won't find lavish decorations or furniture here. This was a military building, and its interior reflects that. It's a world of massive wooden pillars, steep, narrow staircases, and polished floorboards. The main pillars that support this entire structure are truly incredible. One of them, the main west pillar, is a single, massive cypress tree that spans several floors. It's a testament to the incredible craftsmanship of the builders. As we climb higher and higher, the staircases get even steeper and narrower. Imagine samurai warriors in full armor trying to navigate these. It was yet another defensive measure, designed to make it difficult for an enemy to rush up to the top floor. Each floor has a different purpose. The lower floors were used for storage, housing food, sword, and ammunition. You will see weapon racks lining the walls, where spears and muskets would have been kept, ready for use at a moment's notice. There are also hidden rooms and compartments, like the Mujikakushi or warrior hiding places, where samurai could lie in ambush for any intruders who made it this far. Finally, we reach the top floor, and the view from here is absolutely breathtaking. Through the windows, you get a panoramic vista of the entire castle complex and the modern city of Himeji spreading out below. This wasn't just a pretty view for the castle lord, it was a strategic command center. From this vantage point, he could survey his domain, spot any approaching armies, and direct the defense of his castle. It's up here, looking out over the sprawling tiled roofs and intricate walls, that you really get a sense of the scale and genius of Himeji Castle. It's a perfect blend of power, elegance, and strategic brilliance. But the story of Himeji doesn't end in the feudal era. The castle has its share of legends and folklore. One of the most famous is the ghost story of Okiku. Legend has it that Okiku was a servant who was falsely accused of losing one of 10 valuable golden plates. As punishment, she was thrown down a well. It is said that every night, her ghost rises from the well and can be heard counting the plates. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9, before she lets out a heart-wrenching shriek. You can still see the well, now known as Okiku's Well, on the castle grounds today. It adds a layer of mystery and intrigue to this already fascinating place. There's also the West Bailey, or Nishinomaru, which served as the living quarters for Princess Sen, a granddaughter of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Her story is one of political drama and romance. She lived here after her first husband's clan was defeated, and the long, covered corridor that connects the buildings is a beautiful example of residential architecture within a fortress. It provides a glimpse into the daily life of the castle's elite residents, a stark contrast to the military-focused main keep. Visiting Himeji Castle is an unforgettable experience. It's not just a museum, it's an immersive journey back in time. You can almost hear the footsteps of samurai guards and feel the tension of a fortress on high alert. The sheer preservation of the castle allows you to connect with Japan's history in a way that few other places can offer. If you're planning a trip to Japan, Himeji Castle is an absolute must-see. It's easily accessible as a day trip from major cities like Osaka or Kyoto. My advice is to get there early to avoid the crowds, wear comfortable shoes for all the walking and climbing, and be prepared to be completely amazed. From its mind-bending defensive labyrinth to the stunning views from the keep and the ghost stories that echo through its halls, Himeji Castle is a destination that will capture your imagination. It's a timeless symbol of Japan's strength, beauty, and enduring spirit. If we're journeying back in time to feudal Japan, to a place where honor was everything and the way of the warrior was law, we're exploring the magnificent Nagaya Castle and uncovering how this fortress wasn't just a home for lords, but a crucible that forged the very soul of the samurai. So, picture this. It's the early 17th century. The era of warring states has just ended, and Japan is finally unified under the Tokugawa shogunate. But peace is fragile. The new shogun, Tokugawa Ieyasu, needs to solidify his power and keep a watchful eye on the powerful Western lords who might still harbor ambitions of their own. His solution? a colossal, unbreachable fortress strategically placed on the Tokaido Road, the main artery connecting the new capital of Edo with the old imperial capital of Kyoto. And thus, the story of Nagoya Castle begins. Construction started in 1610, and it was an all-hands-on-deck affair. Ieyasu didn't just fund this himself. He ordered various feudal lords, or daimyo, to contribute. This was a stroke of political genius. It not only helped build the castle quickly, but also drained the finances of potential rivals, making it harder for them to raise armies against him. What emerged was a masterpiece of military architecture, with its massive stone walls, deep moats, and the iconic 5-storied main keep, or Tenshikaku. Nagoya Castle was designed to be an impregnable symbol of Tokugawa authority. At the heart of the castle's defense and its daily life were the samurai. For these warriors, Nagoya Castle was more than just a military posting. It was the center of their universe. The Owari Tokugawa clan, one of the 3 most prestigious branches of the Tokugawa family, was placed in charge. This meant that the samurai serving here were among the most elite in the land. Their lives were a delicate balance of martial readiness and cultural refinement. Imagine a typical day for a samurai at Nagoya. Mornings might be spent practicing with the katana in the dojo, perfecting their swordsmanship until each movement was second nature. They would study archery, horsemanship, and spear fighting, always honing the skills that defined them as warriors. The castle grounds would have echoed with the clang of steel and the focused shouts of men dedicated to their craft. Their honor was tied to their ability to defend their lord and the castle, a duty they would fulfill to the death. But being a samurai during the peaceful Edo period wasn't just about fighting. With no major wars to wage, the samurai of Nagoya Castle also became administrators, scholars, and patrons of the arts. The castle town that grew around the fortress walls became a bustling hub of commerce and culture. Inside the castle, particularly in the stunning Honmaru Palace, life was a showcase of elegance and sophistication. The Honmaru Palace, completed in 1615, was the official residence and administrative headquarters of the lord. Its rooms were adorned with breathtaking paintings on sliding doors and screens, created by the famous Kano school of artists. These artworks depicted scenes of nature, Chinese fables, and daily life, reflecting the refined tastes of the samurai elite. Here, they would conduct official business, receive important guests, and practice cultural arts like the tea ceremony, calligraphy, and poetry. This was the fun part of Bunburi-Odo, the samurai ideal of balancing the literary and martial arts. They were warriors, yes, but they were also expected to be cultured gentlemen. This dual identity is what makes the samurai of Nagoya Castle so fascinating. One moment, they were discussing the finer points of a haiku. The next, they were inspecting the castle's defenses, ready to repel an attack at a moment's notice. This environment shaped a unique samurai culture. Honor wasn't just found on the battlefield. It was found in flawless etiquette, in a beautifully written poem, and in loyal service to their lord within the castle walls. Nagoya Castle was also a place of innovation. It was one of the first castles to have its main keep topped with golden kunshachi, mythical tiger-headed carp, which served as both symbols of the lord's power and as protective talismans against fire. These gleaming golden fish became the symbol of the city itself. The castle's construction techniques, particularly its massive, intricately fitted stone walls, were the pinnacle of engineering at the time, designed to withstand both cannon fire and earthquakes. For over 250 years, Nagoya Castle stood as the unshakable heart of the Owari domain. It was a silent guardian that ensured stability in the region, its very presence a deterrent to any who would challenge the shogun's rule. The samurai who lived and served here passed down their traditions from generation to generation, their lives intricately woven into the fabric of the castle. They were the living embodiment of the samurai code, Bushido, where loyalty, discipline, and honor were the cornerstones of their existence. Tragically, the original castle keep was destroyed during air raids in 1945. It was a devastating loss of a national treasure. However, the spirit of Nagoya Castle refused to die. The keep was reconstructed in 1959, and today, an even more ambitious project is underway to rebuild the Honmaru Palace using traditional materials and techniques. This incredible effort allows us to step back in time and experience the world of the samurai firsthand. When you walk through its fragrant cypress wood halls today, you're walking the same ground as the samurai lords and their retainers did for centuries ago. So, Nagoya Castle is far more than just a beautiful building. It's a time capsule. It tells the story of a pivotal moment in Japanese history, of the transition from war to peace, and of how the legendary samurai adapted to this new world. It was a place where military might and cultural sophistication coexisted, where warriors became statesmen, and where the concept of honor was defended not just with a sword, but with a brush, a poem, and unwavering loyalty. It shaped the identity of the samurai for centuries and left an indelible mark on the history of Japan. We are embarking on an epic journey to one of Japan's most magnificent and historically significant landmarks, Nagoya Castle. But this isn't just any castle tour. We're going to peel back the layers of time, uncover hidden secrets, and explore stories that you won't find in the usual guidebooks. From its golden dolphins to its legendary founder, Nagoya Castle is a treasure trove of history, artistry, and samurai spirit. So grab your virtual passport, and let's step back in time to the age of shoguns and warriors. Our story begins in the early 17th century, a time of great change in Japan. After a long period of civil war, the country was finally unified under the powerful Tokugawa clan. The man at the helm, Tokugawa Ieyasu, was a brilliant strategist and the first shogun of the Edo period. He needed a fortress, a symbol of his power and a strategic stronghold to secure his reign. And so, in 1610, he ordered the construction of Nagoya Castle. This wasn't just another fortress, it was a statement. Built on the plains of Owari, it was designed to be impregnable, a testament to the might and authority of the new Tokugawa shogunate. Imagine this scene. Thousands of workers and skilled craftsmen from all over Japan gathered to build a castle that would stand for centuries. The most powerful feudal lords were commanded to contribute, a clever political move by Ieyasu to drain their resources and ensure their loyalty. This monumental effort resulted in the castle being completed in a remarkably short time, just a few years. It became the seat of one of the three main branches of the Tokugawa family, the Owari branch, cementing its importance for the next 150 years. Now, let's talk about the most iconic feature of Nagoya Castle, the one you can't miss. The magnificent golden Shakahoko Organ Shochi, perched atop the main keep. These are not just shiny decorations. They are mythical creatures with the head of a tiger and the body of a carp, believed to summon rain and protect the castle from fire, a constant threat to the wooden structures of the time. The original Shakahoka were crafted from huge cypress wood blocks and covered in plates of pure gold. Can you believe it? The gold used was equivalent to over 17 kilograms of solid gold. They were a dazzling symbol of the Lord's wealth and power, visible for miles around. Over the centuries, these golden guardians have had their own adventures. They've been stolen, damaged, and even sent to exhibitions around the world, like the Vienna World Exposition in 1873. Sadly, the originals were destroyed during the air raids of World War II, but the ones we see today are stunningly accurate reconstructions, continuing to watch over the castle and the city of Nagoya. They truly are the heart and soul of the castle's identity. Let's step inside, or rather, let's imagine stepping inside the original Homaru Palace, which was connected to the main castle keep. This wasn't just living quarters. It was a masterpiece of Japanese residential architecture from the Shoin-zukuri style. It was the official residence and administrative office for the feudal lord. What made it truly breathtaking were the fusuma, or sliding door paintings, created by the famous Kano school of artists. These weren't just pretty pictures. Each room had a theme, reflecting its purpose and the status of the people allowed inside. For example, the Jorakujen, the shogun's personal chambers, were adorned with paintings of seasonal landscapes and customs, creating a serene and sophisticated atmosphere. The Genkan, or Grand Entrance Hall, featured fearsome tigers and leopards, designed to intimidate visitors and display the might of the Owari Lord. It was a visual language of power and elegance. Walking through these halls would have been like walking through a living art gallery, every panel telling a story. It's a tragic loss that the original palace was destroyed in the war, but thankfully, a monumental restoration project has brought it back to life. The reconstruction of the Homaru Palace is a story in itself. It's one of the most ambitious and authentic historical restoration projects in modern Japan. Using traditional materials and construction techniques, craftsmen have painstakingly recreated the palace exactly as it was. They used Kiso Hinoki cypress wood, just like the original builders, and the paintings were reproduced by contemporary masters of the Kano school, based on old photographs and surviving documents. This dedication to authenticity is incredible. When you visit today, you're not just seeing a replica. You're experiencing the space as the shoguns and samurai did for 100 years ago. You can smell the fresh cypress wood, admire the vibrant colors of the paintings, and feel the intricate details of the metalwork. It's a testament to the skill of Japanese artisans and their deep respect for their cultural heritage. This project ensures that the spirit and beauty of the Homaru Palace will continue to inspire for generations to come. It's a truly immersive experience, a time machine made of wood and gold leaf. Now, Let's turn our attention to the castle's defenses. Nagoya Castle was a military marvel. Beyond the towering main keep, it was protected by a complex system of moats, walls, and gates. The massive stone walls, or ishigaki, are a sight to behold. If you look closely at the stones, you might find symbols carved into them. These are the marks of the various feudal lords who were tasked with constructing different sections of the wall. It was a way for them to sign their work and show their contribution to the shogun. It's like a 4-year-old game of "I was here." The castle also had numerous turrets or yagura, strategically placed to provide cover and vantage points against any approaching enemy. The Sumi Yagura, or corner turrets, are particularly impressive. 3 of these original turrets survived the war and are now designated as important cultural properties. They give us a real sense of the castle's original defensive layout. Walking along the ramparts, you can almost hear the footsteps of the samurai guards who once patrolled these walls, ever vigilant, protecting their lord and their domain. Let's explore a secret that's hidden in plain sight. The Kiyomasa Stone. This is the largest single stone in the castle's walls, and it has a fascinating legend attached to it. The stone is named after Kaito Kiyomasa, a legendary warrior and one of the master builders who oversaw the castle's construction. The story goes that Kiyomasa himself directed the transport of this colossal stone, showing off his great leadership and engineering prowess. Some tales even say he rode atop the stone as it was being hauled into place. While historians debate the literal truth of this legend, the Kiyomasa stone serves as a powerful symbol of the monumental effort and human strength required to build these incredible structures. It's a popular photo spot for visitors, a place to touch history and marvel at the ambition of our ancestors. Finding this stone is like a little treasure hunt within the castle grounds. Beyond the stone and wood, the castle grounds are also home to the beautiful Ninomara Garden. This was originally part of the Ninomara Palace complex and is a classic Japanese landscape garden. It was designed for strolling and contemplation. The garden features a large pond, tea houses, and carefully arranged rocks and trees. In its heyday, it was known as the Garden of Profound Scenery. Although the original palace is gone, the garden has been restored and remains a peaceful oasis in the middle of the bustling city. Visiting the Ninomara Tea House, you can enjoy a bowl of matcha tea and traditional sweets while looking out over the serene landscape. It's a perfect way to experience another side of samurai culture, not just warfare and politics, but also a deep appreciation for nature, art, and the quiet moments of life. The changing seasons bring different colors to the garden, from cherry blossoms in spring to vibrant maples in autumn, making it a beautiful spot to visit any time of year. Sadly, the story of Nagoya Castle took a dark turn on May 14, 1945. During World War II, incendiary bombs from an air raid struck the castle, and the main keep, the Homura Palace, and other structures were consumed by fire. The golden shakuhoku melted and were destroyed. It was a devastating cultural loss for Japan. For years, only the stone base, the moats, and the few surviving turrets remained. However, the spirit of Nagoya was not broken. The citizens deeply mourned the loss of their symbol, and the desire to rebuild was strong. In 1959, the main castle keep was reconstructed using a modern steel-reinforced concrete structure. While it wasn't a traditional wooden build, it restored the iconic silhouette to the city's skyline and housed a museum showcasing the castle as history and treasures. This reconstruction was a symbol of post-war recovery and the city's resilience. And that brings us to the future of Nagoya Castle. There is an exciting and ambitious plan currently underway to completely rebuild the main castle keep using traditional wooden construction, just like the original. This project aims to restore the castle not just in appearance, but in its authentic form and spirit. It's a massive undertaking that involves sourcing huge timbers and reviving ancient carpentry techniques. When completed, visitors will be able to experience the castle tower as it was meant to be, a true wooden masterpiece. This forward-looking project shows that Nagoya Castle is not just a relic of the past, but a living piece of heritage that continues to evolve and inspire. It's a bridge connecting the legacy of Tokugawa Ieyasu to the 21st century and beyond. So, from the vision of a powerful shogun to its fiery destruction and magnificent rebirth, Nagoya Castle has stood as a witness to history. It's more than just a tourist attraction. It's a story of power, art, destruction, and resilience. It's a place where you can walk in the footsteps of samurai, admire the work of master artisans, and feel the enduring spirit of Japan. I hope this journey has revealed some of its hidden secrets and inspired you to visit and discover them for yourself. There's so much to see and feel here.